Business and education leaders, state lawmakers, and lobbyists all gathered for the 2012 Education Summit in Baton Rouge this week. As Sue Lincoln with the Southern Education Desk reports, they got a glimpse of how the education reforms, similar to those being proposed by Governor Bobby Jindal, are working in other states.
There were fierce urgings toward immediate revolution.
We need a radical transformation in our thinking and in our practice. Tinkering around at the edges, my friends, is not going to do it.
Some speakers advised patience.
It will take at least a decade to get to the kind of results that you need.
Other speakers were blunt.
And Governor Bush said this, and I'm a huge Governor Bush fan. Says it's going to take 10 years. That's crap, folks. Our kids don't have 10 years.
More than 800 people from the fields of business, education, and government attended the summit, called Leadership for Change. Hosted by Louisiana's House Education Committee Chairman Steve Carter, it showcased the experiences of leaders from other states where some reforms, similar to Governor Jindal's proposals, have already been enacted. Governor Jindal is asking the state legislature for sweeping education changes, including statewide vouchers, merit pay for teachers, and restrictions on tenure. He also wants faster and easier ways to get charter schools up and running.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution that was going to miraculously turn around our system tomorrow for our toddlers or our teenagers. And that's why the plan we presented is about taking the power out of the hands of bureaucrats and putting it in the hands of parents and teachers.
Governor Jindal also wants to give parents the authority to take over failing schools well before the state is required to do so. They're doing it in California, where it's called the Parent Trigger. Parents can organize and take over the running of a local school as a charter or use their power as a group to force the local district to let the parents pick the school's principal and teachers. Ben Austin is the director of Parent Revolution, a nonprofit organization that helps communities take over their failing schools.
Parents are at the table, and they have power. In any other context, if parents sit down with the district superintendent and the president of their teachers union, and they said, we want these radical reforms and we want them now, they would tell the parents to go do a bake sale. But not this time, because these parents are saying, if you don't do this, we're going to fire you.
Besides California, Texas and Connecticut have passed versions of the Parent Trigger, and 11 other states are considering similar laws. George Swift, president of the Southwest Louisiana Chamber of Commerce, based in Lake Charles, says it's an idea his community can support.
Having a choice, parents' choice, and that could be done within the public school system as well as without. So that's a good concept to explore. And so there are a lot of features that we're going to have to look at individually, and our chamber board will be taking a look at that over the next several weeks.
Much of the summit, though, focused on Governor Jindal's proposal to offer statewide vouchers, which the governor calls scholarships.
That's why our plans will create a total choice-based system where our families can take their taxpayer dollars to any of these different choices to get the best education for their children. You want a math and science focus? Take your dollars to a math and science charter school. You want more flexibility on hours? Take your dollars online. You want a parochial education? Take your dollars to a private religious school.
That last choice could become the big bone of contention in this part of the governor's education reform plan.
In North Louisiana, you're going to have the question of separation of church and state.
Scott Hughes, director of the Alliance for Education, a nonprofit advocacy group in northwest Louisiana, says people in the predominantly Protestant upper half of the state are going to have issues with state dollars going to the Catholic Church. More than half of all private schools in Louisiana are Catholic, and the vast majority of them are in South Louisiana. Hughes says capacity is another problem.
In North Louisiana, we have some Christian schools. There's a few private, a Jesuit school, a few private schools, but not even the capacity to handle not even 1,000 kids. And so if you're going to give thousands of kids vouchers, where are they going to go? It's one thing to give them a voucher. It's another thing to make sure they have a place to go that can fulfill that voucher.
The Jindal administration estimates as many as 380,000 Louisiana students will be eligible for vouchers. House Education Committee member Jeff Thompson is going to be in the thick of the debate. Thompson, a Republican, says right now he's not looking for problems with the governor's plan. Instead, he's looking for consensus.
That we can all agree we've got to do better, that the status quo is not working.
Most of the other lawmakers we spoke with said they're waiting to read the reform plan bills before commenting on Governor Jindal's various proposals. Thompson, a freshman lawmaker from Bossier City, says he certainly can't predict how the votes will go, but
there's going to be some changes. There's no doubt. Change is scary, but we all agree we all deserve better. We want to make sure that every child has those opportunities for expansion and for excellence right here in the state we all love.
The Board of Elementary and Secondary Education and officials with the State Education Department attended the summit, as did members of local school boards and a fair number of district superintendents. Notably absent, though, were officials from the teachers' unions. For the Southern Education Desk, I'm Sue Lincoln.
With the legislative session beginning March 12th, state lawmakers are already pre-filing bills, and the education reform bills are still in the works.
The Southern Education Desk is a partnership among public radio and television stations across the Gulf South. We cover a wide range of educational issues from kindergarten through 12th grade and higher ed. For more information, log on to the southern-education-desk.org.